Hey there, I'm Bill Shirk, the man about the woods. Check out the brand spanking new 2012 Due North Outdoors Rapid Marine Lund. Lund just reintroduced the 1875 Pro V model. This is a benchmark for hardcore anglers and tournament fishing. But get this, Lund figured out a way to make this a bit of a family boat too. Let's check it out. Now, Pro Vs continue to be Lund's top-of-the-line series of boats, and much of that has to do with the Pro V's hull design. Pro Vs use these IPS-2 hulls. Without getting too complex, IPS-2 hulls are designed to take a true pounding on big water. Believe me on that. They have double riveted seams, the same treatment commercial jets get. They also have tough I-beam construction and multiple straights with tight tolerances. The end result, a faster boat, a drier ride, and much better boat control, which is a biggie for me. In the 1875, I'm able to hop up front and use the Minn Kota when I want to move around and I'm bass fishing or working a weed line for walleyes. Now, when the weather kicks up, all I have to do is jump here into the back and I get to the back trolling. With that IPS-2 hull and that pronounced keel, I'm able to hold this boat in high wind and rough water right over the top of the fish. Walleye anglers know the ability to do that makes or breaks a boat. All right, so all the boats in the Pro V series are loaded with features, almost too many to talk about. But in the 1875, I'll start up front with the storage. Lund figured out a way to stick storage into every nook and cranny of this boat. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Cargo nets on both sides. Storage way up there in the bow. Big lids with deep canisters to hold all your baits. Heck, they even figured out a way to get a live well up front, and in back, an 18-gallon prolonged live well back there. Okay, so what about rod storage? Well, in the center console of the 1875, you can fit 7 rods. I get 7-footers in there. For all my longer rods, they go here on the side. I can probably get a half a dozen rods in there comfortably. That's where all my musky stuff goes. Okay, some more cool storage. In the console of all these boats, they've got these really neat Pro V drawers. Of course, I have more baits on this side. Over here, I keep all the tools I might need while I'm out in the boat. Behind the console, you've also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pedestals for seats. And this is where Lund made a tournament fishing boat into a really cool family boat. Let me show you. Remember that extended casting platform that they now have? Watch this. At the end of the day, when I'm done fishing, I flip this up and pop up the seats. Now, all of a sudden, your boat's ready for a ride with the family, the afternoon cruise. Again, with Pro Vs, it's all about fit and finish. The boat has a newly redesigned driver's side console. Over here, a big old glove box for all your wife's stuff. And probably my favorite part of the boat, right here, the Pro Trak system. They run up and down both sides of the gunnels, and they allow you to mount these little brackets. You can put anything on them. I like to use the brackets for all my rod holders. Now, the 2012 boat is loaded down with electronics. A set of Humminbird 900 series GPS and sonar units. And believe me, they do some pretty incredible things. Heck, you take your favorite mapping chip and pop it on in, let the maps load, and all of a sudden, all of your lakes have 1-foot contours showing you everything on the bottom, everything you need to know as an angler. But really, Hummingbird's big chunk of technology is something called side imaging. Let me show it to you. Switch to it right here. Essentially, I can look out 360 feet off both sides of the boat and get real-time information. Like right now, we're going under this bridge. Watch what it shows me here as we go underneath. Look, right there, I can see the piling over here and the piling over here. And look at that, a pile of rocks right there. I bet there are fish hiding. It shows you sonar in real time. Amazing technology. Now, Rapid Marine rigged this year's boat with that monster back there. Mercury's 200 horsepower 4-stroke Verado. It is quite the machine. Think performance. This boat will do 50 miles an hour with a full 40 gallons of gas, all the gear you can handle, and a couple of anglers. That's lightning fast performance. Add to that either 24 or 36 volt Minn Kotas in the front and the back. You've got complete control of this Pro V in any sort of weather condition. Lund's new Pro Vs, just another part of the Lund legacy. The best built, the best looking, the best performing boats on the water. When are you going to join the team? Get yourself a Pro V. I'm Bill Shirk, and I'll see you on the water.
Today's Due North Insider is presented by Rapid Marine.
Hey there, Bill Shirk, the man about the woods here. You know, fishing electronics have become a huge part of the fishing game, with a lot of the units costing over $2,000 a piece. They're high-tech and they work really well, but you can take care of them a right way and a wrong way. You know, the big question I get is, how do you clean the screen when you get all those little water spots on it? There is a right way to do it. A lot of people just go for the Windex, but the key is to look for something with vinegar, not ammonia. Got it? Ammonia, if you use it, it'll actually take the protective coating off the screen. A lot of guys will use spray, or they'll just take a bottle of vinegar and mix it with a little water and clean it. The other key, right here, you gotta use a lens towel of some sort. Don't grab the paper towel, because paper towels will actually scratch your screen. All you gotta do is give it a little spray with that vinegar-based cleaner, give it a rub, water spots are gone, and your electronics look brand new. Hey there, I'm Bill Shirk, the man about the woods. You know the old cliche, once Lund gets in your blood, you always bleed Lund red. Well, that's me. Just happens this year, it's green. This is the 2011 Rapid Marine Lund Explorer Sport. It's the official boat of Due North Outdoors. I want to show you what makes Lund so special. Come on. Okay, I could talk to you about the Pro live wells, the rod holders, and all the comfy seats, but that's kind of obvious stuff when it comes to boats. I want to get just a little bit technical about Lund boats, but hang with me. It's all going to make sense, okay? First up, the rivets here. They're double riveted seams on Lund boats. What that means, these boats get the same treatment as a 747 jet. End result, these boats stay dry and they stay together. In fact, Lund guarantees it. Another reason the water stays out, this right here. It's called IPS and IPS2 hulls on Lund boats. Sounds kind of technical, but all it means is there's a little wider footprint to Lund boats. They have a V hull, plenty of strakes, and this thing here, it's called a reverse chine, and all it does is it pushes the water away from the boat versus up and in. The other thing are these long gunnels. They're wide gunnels that run up and down the boats. What they do is they add a lot of strength to the boat, but they don't add weight. Okay, that's enough about all the high-tech stuff. Now let's get to the fun stuff. Now, the other thing I like about Lund boats is what they call their sport track system. They've got these tracks that run up and down the gunnels of the whole boat. And these little brackets, you can mount anything to them. Rod holders, GPS pucks, you name it. I happen to use them for all my rod holders. Absolutely love them. Now I'm back. Lund's also got these new casting platforms. They're big, wide open spaces when you've got a buddy fishing with you. But if I happen to have the kids and my wife along in the boat, check it out. Absolutely love it. The deck flips up and you've got 2 comfy seats and even 2 drink holders. All of a sudden, a hardcore fishing boat becomes a family boat. Okay, on to the electronics. I happen to be a Humminbird guy, and the boat this year has 2 Humminbird 900 series Sonar GPS units. Amazing, high-tech stuff. Where do you even start? Yes, they'll show you high-def lake maps, depth, water temperature, hard versus soft bottom, of course, all the fish. But really, Hummingbird's claim to fame these days is something called side imaging. It's this right here, and it is literally like having a black and white snapshot out of the bottom and out the sides of your boat. Side imaging will show you weeds, fish, sunken boats, anything under the boat, and you can shoot out both sides out to 150 feet or so you see everything. The best part, it's really easy to use, and of course, Humminbird makes sure that the 2 units are interlinked and talk to each other. Okay, now the trolling motors. I happen to be a Minn Kota guy for good reason. This year's boat has the Tarova up front. It's got a super easy to use control pedal, electric steering, and a composite shaft, which I love because when I bump into stuff in shallow water, the shaft won't break and the shaft won't bend. The other very cool part of the trolling motor, right here, Minn Kota's iPilot, all controlled with the remote. I can follow a GPS course or hit a single button and stay on one spot. It's like having an electronic anchor. And maybe the best part, this darn remote floats and is waterproof. Good news for me. Oh yeah, my Minn Kota Vantage in back, an awesome trolling motor. I can run through the roughest water, piece of cake. All right, finally, maybe the best part of the boat, right here, my Mercury Verado, a monster of a 4-cylinder engine. But here's the thing, they're very efficient, don't burn a lot of gas, and they're super, super quiet. But talk about power. This is a 20-foot boat. This is a 200 horsepower motor. I can zip across the lake at 50 miles an hour. Well, that's the tour of the Due North boat from Rapid Marine. Thanks, Lund. It's time to go fishing. I'll see ya.
Today's Due North Insider is presented by Rapid Marine.
Okay, so you spend all this money on a fancy fishing boat, but really people don't take the time to maintain their motors. What am I talking about? Well, every time I'm around the boat, I do two things. Number one, the motor. Simply pull off the cowl and check the oil every time. It'll take you 10 seconds, and trust me, it'll save headaches down the road. The other thing, every time I put gasoline in the boat, I put a fuel stabilizer in too. It's a rule of thumb for me. With all the fancy motors and the small parts, stabilizer protects the gas and it protects your motor. Take a little bit of time to do some daily maintenance and your boat's going to run all season long.
Hi, Matt Johnson here. We're at Rapid Sport Marine, and we're going to talk to you today about the Crestliner boat, specifically the 1750 Fishhawk with the side console with a 115 4-stroke motor. This boat is supreme in open water angling. Whether you're looking for small water, big water, no matter the species, this is one of the most ultimate fishing boats you can get your hands on. So let's take a look at all the features involved with the 1750 Fishhawk side console boat from Crestliner Boats. Let's have some fun and see what it has to offer. A few of the many benefits available to Crestliner boat owners that put them above the competition include welded seams that are virtually indestructible versus rivets, which can leak or work loose over time. You also have integrated tongue and groove hull design with continuous welded seams that result in an incomparable and complete hull design versus a multi-piece patchwork with tacked on extras. Crestliner's welded 4X hull allows Crestliner to design a progressive degree dead rise for the perfect ride versus rudimentary 1 or 2-piece hulls that compromise performance. And thanks to the Crestliner's all-welded construction, they offer a lifetime +3 warranty to protect your boat for life, and even longer. No one else in the industry even comes close to a warranty like this. On top of the hull design and warranty options, we can go into the cockpit part of the boat. A rock-solid foundation allows Crestliner to develop cockpits and seating configurations and open deck designs with far greater space and functionality than other construction methods allow. So on top of the cockpit area and the hull, let's move into some of the features this boat has to offer.
The console area of this boat is loaded with features. Whether you're looking to put a stereo system, CD player, MP3 player, it doesn't matter. You have the options. The gauges are right there in your face, easy to read. The buttons are right there within reach to turn on live wells, bilge pumps, navigation lights, you name it. Everything's right there within easy reach of the angler driving the boat. You also have plenty of room to store electronics. The seats in these boats are extremely comfortable. The bucket seats are comfortable on your back and bottom. You also have air ride systems, so no matter the waves or conditions, you're comfortable as you're driving across the water, and that goes for all the seats inside this Crestliner 1750 fishhawk. Moving on to storage. Right under the feet of the driver, you have this accessible pull-out drawer system, great for storing wallets, phones, any other personal belongings, right there within reach. Another storage system right to your right, where you can move it open, put more other gear in there, whether it be wallets, tackle boxes, dry storage for rain gear, you name it. You have another option here within reach of the driver to store more gear. Moving up to the bow of the boat, where you're going to be fishing and doing most of your work on the water. You have plenty of options for storing gear. You have dry well storage here for throwing life jackets, rain jackets, whatever it might be. You have plenty of room for storing tackle trays and other items, whether it be anchors, throwables, throw ropes, reels, spare line, all the gear that you need to get out on the water for a successful day of fishing. So you have plenty of options up here for storage. Moving on, you have another storage section right in front of the driver's console for storing smaller gear bags and other accessible area. Another great spot for storing gear. And then as you see here on the deck of the boat, you have cargo nets to store plastic bags, buoys, anything else that you're worried about blowing out. So no matter whether you're driving across the lake or driving on behind the truck, these areas stay secure for your gear. As you see here, it's a large layout. You can hold a dance party on side one of these Crestliner boats. You know, many people get up here. When I guide, I have 2, 3, 4 people on the bow at one time. So plenty of space for fishing. A great layout, no matter the amount of anglers. As you look into the cockpit area again, the seater configuration is awesome. This setup has 3 seats. As you can see, there's another pedestal option to throw a 4th seat in there. You also have an option up top for whether it be a butt seat. So there's many ways that you can configure this boat. On top of that, you have drink holders at the front. You have drink holders at the stern. You have them all over the place. People can put their beverages. The live wells, you have a small one up front for storing panfish and smaller game fish. That's accessible to the guys who are fishing on the bow of the boat. And then as you move towards the back of the boat, you have the larger live well for putting tournament fish. So even if you're a tournament angler, this 1750 fishhawk is an excellent option. And you also have a recirculating option so you can keep the water fresh and pumping through even on a long day of fishing. On top of that, for the guy looking to use bait, right up front, right on the bow of the boat, you have a small bait well, which also has water flowing in and out to keep your bait fresh and alive the time you're on the water. On top of the dry well and the live wells, you have rod storage. The hydraulic lift system here in the middle of the deck of the boat is great for storing a series of rods. You can get 9 rods up to 7 feet inside this 1750 fishhawk. Very functional. It keeps them out of the way and safe from being stepped on and broken. And when you need one, it's as easy as lifting it up and going. Next, you have another set of rod storage right on the passenger side of the boat, which you can put your longer rods in. So for the guys fishing for muskies, or longer rigging rods for walleyes, or flipping rods for bass, you have plenty of storage here. Also you can put rods and other light systems in there. A great feature of this boat, right underneath where the rod storage wedge I showed you, that lifted up in the middle, you have the option here to store your batteries and get at them with ease. Very accessible. You can put your Minn Kota or whatever brand onboard charger you're using to get to your trolling motor batteries very easily. No longer are you taking panels to get to these. And then back by the motor, you can see it very easy to get to your starting and cranking battery to make sure no problems do occur. Motors in these boats come standard with a 115 4-stroke Mercury motor. This motor is built tough. It's a bulletproof motor. Very fuel efficient, very quiet, very functional no matter the species you're fishing and no matter the way you're using your boat. Whether you're trolling for walleyes, this motor will get it done. It's very quiet. Whether you're running hard for bass, it performs great out of the hull and gets you up on plane even if you have 2, 3, 4 anglers in this 1750 boat. So that Mercury 4-stroke motor, that 115 4-stroke, is an excellent all-around motor, one that we highly recommend for this 1750 fishhawk.
Well, there you have it, the 1750 fishhawk side console boat from Crestliner Boats with a 115 4-stroke motor. Everything you need to hit the water this season and be very successful no matter the situation.
Today's Due North Insider is presented by Rapid Marine Group.
If you spend enough time in the boat, you know stuff gets wet, whether it's rain coming down or waves crashing over in rough weather. I want you to do something next time that happens to you. At the end of the day, when I go home, put the boat away, I literally open every single bin inside the boat. I do it for a couple of reasons. Number one, it dries everything out, but more importantly, live wells, you know that stink you tend to get over time? If you just open up the live well at the end of the day and let it dry out, number one, your gear stays clean and you avoid the stink in the live well.